Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. Good morning to all the students. Today we will discuss very important current affairs of 10th of June 2022. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affairs. So watch this video till last. But first of all, you have to download our application Careers Cloud from the Google Play Store. After that, log in with your email ID. Then click on this Crack Current Affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. But the most important thing, what we are covering under this 1 year and the 2 year subscription, we are providing you daily section. In the daily section, you will receive three things. One is the detailed current affair. Second is the question and answer format of current affairs, but both will be provided in the form of PDF or in the form of ebook. And third is the quiz section, and this can be attempted only on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. Again, we are providing three things. One is the detailed current affairs, second is the question and answer format, but both things will be provided in the PDF format, and third is the quiz section, which you can attempt on our application on weekly basis. Next is the monthly section, and in the monthly section we are providing you four type of PDFs. One is the detailed current affair PDF, which is known as study PDF. Next, all the detailed current affairs will be converted in the form of question and answer. That's why it is known as question and answer PDF, so that you can revise all the current affairs in the question and answer format. Next is the best 100 current affairs will be provided. That is also provided in the form of question and answer. And last is the pocket PDF. It means one liner, two liner, or the three liners current affair will be provided to you, so that you can revise these current affairs very quickly before your exam. Next is topic wise current affair. This is very important section because we are providing 20 most important topic wise PDF. If you want to revise one or two particular topics, then you can use this topic wise PDF. If you are a banking student, then we are providing three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format of current affairs, but only related to banking and economy, and third is the quiz section. It is also only related to banking and economy, and you can attempt this quiz section only on our application on monthly basis. Next is exam PDF. If you want to cover all the current affairs before your exam of particular year, then you can use this exam PDF. Next is special current affairs section. In the special current affair, we are providing you budget and economic survey. Two things we are providing. One is detail budget and economic survey. Second is question and answer format of budget and economic survey. It means you can recall that examiner can make these type of questions from budget and economic survey. If you are preparing for your respective state exam, then we are also providing state current affairs, and we are covering every state and union territory. So all these things comes under only one subscription. First of all, you have to just download our application Careers Cloud, then click on this Crack Current Affairs section, and you can subscribe for 1 year as well as for 2 years. And if you want 10% extra discount, then you can use this code ASH10. If you have any query, then you can email us on this email ID, or you can call us on this number. So let's start 10th of June 2022 current affairs. But first of all, you have to like this video, share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform, and join our Telegram group from the description box link, so that you can receive the notification on time. Here is the first question in the most important section. Which institute emerged as the fastest rising South Asian university among the top 200 universities according to QS or Quackerly Siemens World University Ranking of 2023. So two things are very important. This is QS World University Ranking of 2023, and which institute or university emerged as the fastest rising South Asian institute or university among the top 200 universities. And this belongs to India, and this is Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, which is situated in Karnataka. So according to Quackerly Siemens World University Ranking of 2023, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru emerged as the fastest rising South Asian university among the top 200 universities. And you can also remember the global ranking. On the global scale, this university or this institute ranked on 155 position. Earlier in 2022, this was ranked on 186th position. So total gain is 31 points. So you can see here, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, Karnataka ranked 155 and gained 31 places since 2022 ranking. But this ranking was topped by United States Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which scored 100 out of 100, and second rank goes to University of Cambridge in United Kingdom, and third rank goes to Stanford University in United States of America. But the most important is Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which topped this ranking of 2023. And according to the ranking, 13 Indian universities have improved their research impact relative to global competitors. And according to this ranking, Indian Institute of Science has emerged as the number 1 globally in the citation per faculty indicator, which is used by QS to evaluate the impact of research produced by universities. In simple word, you can say that according to this CPF indicator, Indian Institute of Science Bangalore is the world top research university, achieving a perfect score of 100 out of 100 for this metric. And OP Jindal Global University is the highest ranked private university for the 3rd consecutive year. So you can also remember the other institutes from India. One is IIT Bombay, and it ranked on 172 position. Indian Institute of Technology Delhi or IIT Delhi on 174, IIT Madras 250th rank, Indian Institute of Technology Kanpur on the rank of 264. So you can just remember the first 3, and total IITs under the top 300 universities are 4. You can see these 4 IITs are there. And remember about this ranking, this is QS World University Ranking of 2023, and this ranks the top 900 universities based on the 8 key ranking indicators, and this is the 19th edition of QS World University Ranking, and this is the largest ever ranking with 1418 institutions across 100 locations, up from 1300 in the previous year. And among the 41 Indian institutes featured in the ranking, 12 institutes have improved their score over the last year, 12 remained stable, 10 declined, and 7 are new entries, but total Indian institutions which are ranked under this ranking are 41. So now we are moving to next question. Next question is in the very important question section, but first of all you have to like this video, share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform, and join a Telegram group from the description box link so that you can receive the notification on time. So here is the first question in the very important section. Indian government has finalized deals with which country to get cheetahs so that it can be released into Dash National Park? So again, this question is very important. Why? Because Indian government has finalized this deal with the other country so that cheetahs can be placed into this national park. And this country is South Africa, and name of this area or the national park is Kuno National Park. So answer of this question is A. So the Indian government has finalized deals with South Africa as well as Namibia. So you have to remember second country, Namibia, to get the planet fastest animal cheetah that became extinct in India, and it will be released into the wild at Kuno in Madhya Pradesh by the end of 2022. So India signed a deal with South Africa as well as Namibia. So initially a memorandum of understanding will be signed for the 10 years, which can be extended for another 5 years. It means it can be extended maximum up to 15 years. And there will be 12 cheetahs from the South Africa and 8 from the Namibia, and more will be followed in the subsequent years. And the two governments agreed to cooperation on the conservation of cheetah for improved ecosystem services and community livelihood options, transfer of technology and science. And the project to translocate cheetahs from Africa to India is a long-term, one-time project being implemented by the Environment Ministry with the help of the Wildlife Institute of India. So just remember, total 20 cheetahs, 12 from the South Africa and 8 from the Namibia will be released into the Kuno National Park, which is situated in Madhya Pradesh. Moving to next question. Who is appointed as the ambassador of the India-UK Cultural Platform? So very static question, just remember the question as same as in slide, that who is appointed as ambassador of India, UK or United Kingdom Culture Platform, and this is A.R. Rahman. So answer of this question is D. So India, United Kingdom together Season of Culture appointed music maestro A.R. Rahman as its ambassador. And this India United Kingdom Together Season of Culture was officially launched by Britain's Deputy High Commissioner to India, Jen Thompson, and Director of the British Council, Barbara Wickham. And variety of arts such as theatre, dance, visual arts, literature, music, architecture, design, fashion, technological art and new media art will be exhibited. Over 1400 artists from India the United Kingdom, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland will represent their collaborations to millions of people in India, in United Kingdom, Scotland, Wales and the Northern Ireland. And this season of culture intends to build on the British Council of Works in India and strengthen partnership between India and United Kingdom in the arts, English and education. And people in both nations will get the opportunity to see a unique and exciting creative work by the United Kingdom and Indian artist. And A.R. Rahman was a key consultant to the season of culture. So you have to just remember the question as same as in slide, but other options are very important. Amir Khan, you can see here the name, first option. And Amir Khan recently become the brand ambassador of very famous company. I think you have seen the advertisement, Farm Easy. Farm Easy. Next is Amitabh Bachchan, the superstar, who is recently appointed as brand ambassador of education platform which is known as Upgrad. Next is Vidya Balan, very versatile actress, and she is recently appointed as brand ambassador of Bharti AXA Life Insurance Company. So moving to next question. Next is, what is the name of virtual university which is India's largest educational metaverse, and it is recently launched by our education minister Dharmendra Pradhan, and name of this university is Polyversity. So answer of this question is B. So this company is IDS, it stands for Information Data System, which is a information technology services and IT consulting company based in Michigan, United States of America, has unveiled two projects for India. One is Bharat Blockchain Network, second is world's largest educational metaverse university which is known as Polyversity. So Polyversity is a virtual university which is India's largest educational metaverse with over 100 academic partners establishing virtual campuses including All India Council for Technical Education campus to make education more accessible, immersive and meaningful. And this AICTE also unveils its metaverse version which is simulated digital environment that uses augmented reality and virtual reality. And in accordance with the India's new education policy of 2020, Polyversity is among the 260 new digital universities that will raise gross enrollment ratio or the rates and enable a more skilled workforce. And secondly, this IDS or Information Data System launched Bharat Blockchain Network, and this is India's first nationwide hybrid blockchain network which is built by the Information Data System, and it is intended to enable blockchain projects of academic significance in the areas of governance, issuance of verifiable credentials, skill badges, student transfer, audit trail in accordance with the National Education Policy of 2020. And this IDS has collaborated with over 100 academic institutions. So this company is very important which is known as IDS because all the things are built by this company, Information Data System. So it is a multinational firm headquartered in Michigan in United States of America that provides services to the Fortune 500 clients in a variety of industries, and it was founded in the year of 1996. But both platforms, one is the educational metaverse platform, this is Polyversity, and world's largest educational metaverse blockchain technology, this is Bharat Blockchain Network, also launched by this company, and this is the Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, who is currently the member of Rajya Sabha from Madhya Pradesh. Moving to next question. Which city legislature has passed the world's first right to repair law for the digital electronics manufacturers? So the keyword here is right to repair, and this city legislature is New York City Legislature. So answer of this question is A. So the New York State Legislature in the United States of America has passed the world's first right to repair law that allows digital manufacturers to make parts, tools, information and software available to the customers and independent repair shops. And the Digital Fair Repair Act would require manufacturers of the digital electronics like cell phones and computers to make diagnostic and repair information and parts available for the sale to the independent repairers. So it does not include the motor vehicles, home appliances, public safety communication equipment like police radios, agricultural equipment and off-road equipment. So it only includes the digital electronics components like cell phones and computers. And this prevents also the monopoly on the repair services and reduces inflated price of the parts of the cell phones and computers. So just remember, this law is known as Right to Repair Act, and this is passed by New York State Legislature of United States of America. Moving to next question. India is set to launch first human space mission Gaganyaan and first human ocean mission in which year? So recently, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, who is the Union Minister of State independent charge of Ministry of Earth Sciences and Ministry of Science and Technology, announced that India is set to simultaneously launch the first human space mission, which is known as Gaganyaan, as well as the first manned human ocean mission in the year of 2023. So answer of this question is B. So India is set to launch first human space and ocean missions in the year of 2023. So Indian government is set to unveil the blue economy policy, and more than 40 million people will be employed by the ocean based industry by the year of 2030. This is stated by Dr. Jitendra Singh ji. And Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh also stated that the trials for both the space as well as the ocean manned missions have reached an advanced stage, and both the missions are likely to be launched in the second half of the 2023. And the sea trials of 500-meter rated shallow water version of the manned submersible are expected to be conducted in 2023. And following the trials of the Matsya 6000, you have to remember this name, Matsya 6000, the deep water manned submersible will be conducted in the second quarter of 2024. And remember, the deep ocean mission approved by the government of India in June 2021, and it is implemented by Ministry of Earth Sciences at a total budget of almost 4,000 crore for time period of 5 years. And you can also remember about Gaganyaan. For Gaganyaan, the major missions like test vehicle flight for the validation of the crew escape system performance and the first uncrewed mission of Gaganyaan are scheduled to be held on second half of the 2022. And the second uncrewed mission carrying Vyom Mitra, again this name is important, Vyom Mitra, a space-faring human robot developed by the ISRO, is scheduled for the end of the 2022, and the first crewed Gaganyaan mission is scheduled for the year of 2023. So the trials are currently going on. All the trials will be completed in the 2022 and 2023, and at the end of 2023 both the missions will be launched. So I think all the students know about the Gaganyaan mission, but you have to remember also about this deep sea mission or deep ocean mission, because the mission was the result of the ambition to explore the unlimited possibilities of the ocean, and the hidden mineral wealth of the sea and the thermal energy from the sea water offer great opportunities for the development of India. So both the missions, one is the deep ocean mission and second is first human space mission Gaganyaan will be launched in the year of 2023 or the starting of the year of 2024. But this will be launched in the second half of the 2023. This is initially stated by Dr. Jitendra Singh, who is the Union Minister of State independent charge from Ministry of Earth Sciences as well as Ministry of Science and Technology. Moving to next question. Nitin Gadkari ji sets a target to construct dash kilometer of highways per day. So this is just a static question. You have to just remember the question as same as in slide. This is 60 kilometer of highway per day. This is the target which is set by the Union Minister of Road and Transport, Nitin Gadkari ji. So answer of this question is C. So Union Minister of Road, Transport and Highways, Nitin Gadkari ji announced the target of constructing 60 kilometer of highways per day. So due to COVID-19 pandemic and the logistic cost, the construction was slowed down to 28.64 km a day in 2021-22 by India's National Highway Construction, and National Highway Authority of India lays 75 km long highway in 105 hours, sets a new Guinness World Record. So this you have to remember. This is National Highway Authority of India created a new world record in laying 75 kilometers of bituminous concrete in a single lane on National Highway 53 between Amravati to Akola districts in 105 hours and 33 minutes. And the National Highway Authority of India and the National Highways and Infrastructure Development Corporation are the primarily responsible for the construction of national highways and expressways across India. So remember, this is the target set by the Ministry of Road and Transport. And you can also remember National Highway Authority of India. It was established in the year of 1988 by the Act of Parliament. Its currently chairman is Mrs. Alka Upadhyay. You can remember the name. This is very important. Alka Upadhyay, and its headquarters is in New Delhi. Moving to next question. Shri Dharmender Pradhan along with Shri Anurag Thakur ji. You can see here the picture of Anurag Thakur ji and Dharmender Pradhan. Both released two books. One is the Loktantra Ke Swar, second is the Republican Ethic. So Dharmender Pradhan, who is the Union Minister of Education and Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, along with the Anurag Singh Thakur ji, who is the Union Minister of Information and Broadcasting and Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports, launched two books. One is Loktantra Ke Swar, this is the volume 4, and this is the Republican Ethic, also volume 4. You can also see here the cover page of the book, The Republican Ethic, and this is Ramnath Kovind ji. So Anurag Singh Thakur ji presented the first copies of the books to the President Ramnath Kovind. So the books are a compilation of selected speeches of Ramnath Kovind, the President of India, and the book specially features 38 selected speeches categorized into 8 sections. And the book features the thoughts of the President Ramnath Kovind ji on varied topics such as the public service, ethics, education, aspirations of our youth and contemporary global issues. And this is the 4th volume of the series featuring the 4th year of the presidency of Ramnath Kovind. And simultaneously the e-version of the book was also released. So just remember, this is Loktantra Ke Swar, the volume 4, and the Republican Ethic volume 4. Both were released by Shri Anurag Singh Thakur ji and Shri Dharmender Pradhan. Moving to next question. So next is from picture, highlights of the Reserve Bank of India second bi-monthly monetary policy report. So this is the Reserve Bank of India Monetary Policy Committee who released the RBI second bi-monthly monetary policy for the financial year of 23. And these are the policy rates, but first of all you have to remember RBI retained India's real gross domestic product growth at 7.2% for the financial year of 23. Earlier they estimated 7.8%. This is most important thing, this can be asked by examiner. Earlier they predicted 7.8%, but now they reduced to 7.2%. And they also predicted quarter wise growth rate, like for financial year 23 quarter 1 they predicted 16.2% growth rate, for quarter 2 6.2%, for quarter 3 4.1%, and for quarter 4 it is 4%. And Monetary Policy Committee raised the repo rate by 50 basis point, it means 0.5% to 4.90%, which is the biggest in more than a decade. So you can see here policy rates like repo rate is 4.90, reverse repo also changed to 3.35. Next is SDF or standing deposit facility rate, it is 4.65. MSF is margin standing facility, it is again 5.15%, again changed. Bank rate is also changed. Due to repo rate all the things are now changed, but cash reserve ratio is 4.50% and statutory liquidity ratio is 18%. So you have to remember the policy rates, these are very important. Next is RBI also proposed to allow linking of credit cards to the unified payment interface. Firstly, RuPay credit card will be enabled with the facility because it is started by National Payment Corporation of India, and this will provide more convenience to the customers in making payments through the UPI platform. And RBI also increased the limits on the individual housing loans extended to the urban cooperative banks and the rural cooperative banks. And the increase will also facilitate better flow of the credit to the housing sector. And the limits for the tier 1 urban cooperative banks are revised from 30 lakh to 60 lakhs, and the limits for tier 2 urban cooperative banks were revised from 70 lakh to 140 lakhs. And RBI also enhanced limit for the e-mandates on the credit as well as debit cards to rupees 15,000. So RBI enhanced the limit for the e-mandate, or you can say standing instructions, on the credit as well as debit card and the prepaid payment instruments for recurring transactions to 15,000. Earlier this was 5,000. In simple words, you can say that the auto transactions up to rupees 15,000 will no longer require customers to authenticate such payments manually with one-time password. So just remember all the data about the bi-monthly report. Moving to next section, it is our important question section. But first of all, you have to like this video, share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform, and join our Telegram group from the description box link so that you can receive the notification on time. Here is the question. NHIDCL, it is known as National Highways Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited, and which institute signed a memorandum of understanding for sharing knowledge in the field of highway engineering. Static question, just remember the question SMS in slide. This is IIT Roorkee. So answer of this question is B. So the National Highways Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited signed a memorandum of understanding with the Indian Institute of Technology Roorkee for sharing knowledge on innovation ideas and technology in the field of highway engineering. So in simple words, you can say that this institute will provide expertise to the National Highway Infrastructure Development Corporation. So the main aim to establish the collaboration between both the organizations in order to take up various activities of common interest, such as sharing knowledge on innovative ideas and other infrastructure work as per the mutually agreed terms and conditions. So it will play a significant role in realizing the aims and objectives of the Prime Minister Gati Shakti project, which is the National Master Plan already launched by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. But you have to remember in simple words that IIT Roorkee will share its expertise, its knowledge to the National Highway Infrastructure Development Corporation in the field of highway engineering. Moving to next section. It is our one-liner important point, and here is the first. Allah Rakha Rahmanji or A.R. Rahmanji appointed as the Ambassador of India UK Culture Platform. We already covered this question. Next is OECD slashes India's GDP growth forecast to 6.9% for financial year 23. Earlier, they predicted 8.1% for the financial year 23, but now they slashed 1.2% growth rate for India. So it means 120 basis point lower than the earlier forecast of 8.1%. But you have to remember, this is OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. It was established in the year of 1961. Its headquarters is in Paris and total member countries are 38. Next is Department of Biotechnology and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation renews pact to speed innovation for global health. So the Department of Biotechnology and the Bill and Melinda Gates have renewed the memorandum of understanding, especially for developing new preventions, therapies and interventions to solve health, human and animal both, and food and nutritional inequalities. So in 2021, Department of Biotechnology and Gates Foundation signed a MOU on the cooperation in the health and development for 5 years, which was then renewed for another 5 years till the year of 2022. Next, Ministry of Defence approves funding under DRDO's TDF scheme to rupees 50 crore for the micro, small and medium enterprises and startups. So, Union Minister of Defence Rajnath Singh ji has approved enhancement of the funding under Technology Development Fund scheme to rupees 50 crore from rupees 10 crore per project, and the scheme was executed by DRDO and supports indigenous development of the components, products, systems, technology by the MSMEs and the startups. So the enhanced funding is in line with the boosting the vision of the Atmanirbhar Bharat in the defense sector. Next, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, fastest rising South Asian university. This is the QS World University Ranking of 2023. We already covered this question. Next, World Accreditation Day 2022 observed on 9th of June. This day is not so much important, but you can remember it is to promote the value of accreditation in the economy, and the day also aims to create awareness about the importance of accreditation related activities. And 9th June 2022 marks the 15th anniversary of the World Accreditation Day. And what is the theme? Theme is accreditation, sustainability in the economic growth and the environment. So moving to the question of the day, what was the question of 8th of June 2022? Sorry, it was 9th of June 2022. Question was, who won Whitley Gold Award 2022? First of all, remember Whitley Award. Whitley Awards are held annually by the Whitley Fund for the Nature or WFN to recognize and celebrate effective grassroots conservation leaders across the global south. And often it is referred as Green Oscar. This is very important term, Green Oscar. The award seeks to recognize outstanding contributions to the wildlife conservation with a focus on Asia, Africa, Latin America, and bringing international attention to the work of deserving individuals committed to precipitating long-lasting conservation benefits on the ground with the support of the local communities. And this Whitley Award was established in the year of 1994 by Edward Whitley. And in 2022, this award goes to Charudat Mishra. So answer of this question is B. So noted snow leopard expert and wildlife conservationist Charudat Mishra has won this prestigious Whitley Gold Award of 2022. Now we are moving to the question of the day. What is the question? Who won first Lata Mangeshkar Award of 2022? This is the most important question, but you have to tell me answer only in the comment box. I'm waiting your answer, but please like this video, share this video, and please subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform. And you can join our platforms like Facebook, like Instagram, but especially our Telegram channel. But don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy, and especially take care of your health. Thank you guys. Take care and bye bye.